It's time for another episode of Left Hand Poetry. I'm your host and poet, Rob Murray. It's been a little while since I recorded a new episode, and frankly, it's because I wasn't feeling terribly inspired. But I had just submitted some things to the amazing literary magazine, Bell Quarterly. No, I promise you, it's real and it's amazing, and you should check it out. But these items were all rejected, and I think they're at least on par with some of my other work that I've read here on the podcast. So I was inspired after reading a series of tweets from other folks whose work was likewise rejected from Taco Bell Quarterly. So I'm dusting off the podcast, and I'm going to read the handful of poems and one fun little essay over the next weeks, months. Who knows how long it'll take me to get through this, but if you subscribe, you'll see it. If you stumble on my feed, you'll also find it. And if you've been a listener of the podcast, you know that this intro has already gone on way longer than most others have. That's how cool Taco Bell Quarterly is, and frankly, how sad I am not to have been in. But I haven't given up hope yet, because I too want to live moss. So, moving on, the first in my little series of Taco Bell Quarterly Rejections starts with, "They keep it cold inside the Taco Bell on purpose, so you don't linger. But I just bring a jacket." They keep it cold inside the Taco Bell on purpose, so you don't linger. But I just bring a jacket. "More nacho cheese, please," I mumble into my corporate burrito, even though no one else is at my table. Non-Newtonian liquid gold, behold, slips and slides around glips and globs of rice as I just so squeeze my steaming sustenance bought at a reasonable price. Really, it's nice to have the room to myself. The mega-branded, teal-clad staff give me space as they face the motorized, hungered hordes, these who are destroying the world as they clog their cheesy gordita bodies. Crunchy. In the lobby, my dining echoes. I let go of my inhibitions, mix fire sauce with God knows what's in that nacho cheese. But it's not yo problem. It's mine, I giggle into my corporate burrito as I see to my dietary ambitions while the staff of this Taco Bell do their best to avoid me from the kitchen. Again, that was, "They keep it cold inside the Taco Bell on purpose so you don't linger, but I just bring a jacket." A fun little poem, only before now ever seen by the eyes of the Taco Bell Quarterly editor. So shout out to them for being awesome and putting out such an amazing product. And also, remember, you can buy my poetry as well in books at robertcmurray.com. You can go there and there's links. And also, if you go to my blog, lefthandrob.net, not only are there links to my poetry books there and all the back episodes of this podcast, but also a link to where you can donate to a few different social justice charities, because the work is still not done. If anything, more so than ever now, the work is more important, because we don't want to forget all the lessons we learned last year, the lessons that I mentioned at the end of every episode of the podcast. So let's keep at the work. And that's it for this week's episode. The next episode is sometime in the future. Until then, this has been